Good morning. We're going to be performing a brittle test. So I have identified an area where the shingles are still sealed. So I'm going to have to break the seal just to show that there's no wind damage done already. So we're going to do a brittle test on this shingle right here. And in order to do so, we're going to have to break the seal for this shingle. We're going to have to break the seal for this shingle. We're going to have to break the seal for this shingle in order to expose all the fasteners that are holding this shingle in place. As you know, there's a nail path that goes right here that holds this shingle in place, but because there are 6 additional unexposed inches of the shingle, when this shingle is fastened in its same nail path, it is also going to be placing nails inside this shingle, which is why we have to unseal 2 rows and remove nails from those corresponding rows. As you can see, just in starting to unseal it, the shingle's already tearing. I also have to unseal this shingle a little bit because of the fasteners holding the nail path. And just unsealing it with this flat trowel is tearing it up. You can see that the dragon's tooth, or so they're called, is starting to delaminate in this process as well. So what I have to do is I have to be able to lift this shingle that's overlapping the one that we're testing up to 90 degrees to expose the fasteners holding this shingle in place, and the same thing with this row. In that process of lifting it and sustaining it, if it creases, tears, folds, or completely disintegrates, then we know that it fails the brittle test. So I'm just trying to locate where our nails are. They might be even a little high. These are well above the nail path. Fastener when trying to lift it. It is physically compromised. To our next row. As you can see, delamination and tearing just from lifting it. As you can see, we are being careful removing the nails as to not cause any intentional harm to the shingle. This first one, because this was either high nailed or over driven, has pulled through the shingle. So when we go back to put it in place, I'm gonna have to relocate the nail. But with all of the fasteners that are holding this shingle in place removed, we have no trouble sliding this shingle out. All right, so we're able to remove it just fine. Where the creasing could occur in a failed brittle test is on the installation, because you can see when I was removing the nails, I only had to lift 30 to 45 degree angle to get the pry under there to pull the nail out. However, I have to be able to lift it high enough to swing my hammer to fasten it back in place. So we're gonna put that shingle back in its place. Now slide it under. We're gonna align it to where it was before. I'm gonna take the nails and we're gonna re-secure this thing. Forgot to remove that. We would have been a nail short. So lifting it up to install, you can hear crunching and cracking and creakling, and you can see where this original nail was high nailed. It needs to be in the nail path which follows that mastic line. And it was a little too close to the edge. You want to be about 2 inches in. Let's see if I can't redo that. All right, so in that process of lifting it up just one time, we can see that there are dislodged granules right here causing slight creasing. I have to do that at least 4 more times. If this was installed properly the first time, I would have had to do it 6 times. But because they only put 4 nails in, I have to do this 4 more times just to install it. And it just delaminated and cracked right in front of our faces. That's what's known as a failed brittle test.
Subscribe.